All right, you're listening to On Deck, presented by Amazing Met Zone. I'm your boy, Phil from Shirley, with my boy, Drewminati 82. What up, Drew?
What's happening, Philly? What's going on, people?
We are in the off season right now. It's just starting. I want to know your top five off season moves, your wish list of things you want to see. And I'll start it off with my number five. I want to bring back Jesse Winker, Jose Iglesias, and Sean Manaea. Those are three guys that I would love to see the Mets bring back. I feel like they're really good role pieces. Sean Manaea is proven right now that he's a great pitcher. 3 years, 70 million. Come on, Manaea, sign the contract. I think that'd be perfect. Give me back Jesse Winker. Jesse Winker goes from being probably the most hated Met, like one of my most hated rival players, to now one of my favorite Mets of all time. Bring back Jesse Winker. Bring back Jose Iglesias. Bring back Sean Manaea, my number five.
Yeah, those guys were good chemistry guys. I feel like you said, Winker was one of those, dickheads on other teams, but when he's on your team, you love him.
Mm-hmm.
Iglesias, I know people were ragging on Iglesias because of what he did in the playoffs, but he had a 20-game hit streak before the playoffs started, and the guy was a maniac. Yeah. So my number five is going to be package a deal for maybe a third baseman, or if we lose Pete, a first baseman. I know Vientos is going to play one of those bases, but I would like to package a deal. Like, I know we have a plethora of players right now that we can unload, especially if we get another outfielder, right? I mean, Beatty. I don't know what we're doing with Jet Williams. As much as like he's great, he's a prospect. McNeil. I know we might get a bag of balls for him, but if we put together enough guys to get, a nice bat, or maybe like you said, Vlad Guerrero Jr. Be sick. Like make a
Yep.
splash, make a big splash. Someone that can be a contributor on offense and also at the corners would be sick. So that's my number.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that a move has to be made. We have way too many guys, right? They're going to have to do something. My number four move, I want to see Pete Alonso back on the Mets. I feel like right after he hit that fucking 3-run homer versus Milwaukee, I said it to Roy when we were at Citi Field. This guy will be a Met forever now. Like we need to sign this guy. Sign the contract, Pete. 6 years, 150. I'm willing to give an extra year or two and to give him that money. I feel like he deserves it. Where else are you going to get this money to, Pete? Don't go sign a contract for 30 or 40 extra million and go to some shit team. Like, be that legacy Met. Take the hit for the money a little bit. You'll be the franchise's GOAT. So, Pete, come on. Sign the contract, baby. Let's go. Pete.
Yeah, nice. I mean, that's it's huge. It's definitely someone we can bring back. Um, my number four would be to extend some of these young guys, Alvarez and Vientos. I know Alvarez had a shaky season, but I said it last year to extend him. Take a page from the Braves book, get these guys now while you can. Vientos is probably going to hold out and wouldn't extend right now because he's hottest thing right now on our team besides Lindor. But it would be cool if can somehow entice them with a 6-year deal, an 8-year deal, and some decent amount of money to stay on this and be a nucleus on our team. So it would be like extend some of these young guys.
I love it. I love it. My number three move, I want to see this bullpen just totally revamped. I feel like we need about three or four new arms in there. Give me a lefty that we could go to. I feel like we haven't had a lefty in my lifetime, going back to probably Pedro Feliciano, somebody that we could count on and trust. Minter would be a nice guy. AJ Minter from the Braves. Like, just rebuild the pen, three or four new arms. My number three move.
Yeah. And, right there with you. My number three is also revamp this bullpen, maybe re-sign a couple of our guys that we had from last year that were reliable guys, and then just bring in some new arms. I feel like, sometimes some of these guys who maybe didn't have success, or maybe they had success 2 years ago and didn't have success last year, and just find the new scenery, like come in and just, shut it down for us. And I feel like Stearns finds these guys. Like, I mean, there's a couple of bullpen pitch. Like even I know Maton was like public enemy number one in the playoffs, but before the playoffs started, the guy was old. He was reliable. So I trust Stearns to rebuild our bullpen. Like you said, let's get a lefty. Let's get one of those guys that you can throw out there and just
Mhm.
take out one of their best bats. Like Tanner Scott did for the Padres. Yeah, get that bullpen going. That's huge.
Love that. Love that. My number two move, I want to see this so bad, and that's just trade Jeff McNeil. Get McNeil out of this team. I think it opens it up for guys like a Ronnie Mauricio to make this team, even Acuna to be in that position to play some second base, some outfield. You know what I mean? Get those 100 games in. Because they're not going to be on the bench. These guys, if they're up here, they're going to have to play. So just get rid of Jeff McNeil. I mean, I'll go to Queens, I'll put the guy on my fucking back, and I'll walk to wherever he's got to go. Just get him out of here. Jeff McNeil gone. My number two move.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, the guy's a mush right now. So get him out. All right. I like my number two is kind of generic, but let's get an ace. Let's make a big splash and get one of these big names. I know like last year we went really far with, no really true ace, but at the same time we had a bunch of reliable guys. And I feel like, if we lose Savvy, if we lose Manaya, I don't know what's going on with Katana. We really just have Peterson, Senga, and McGill, Blackburn, like, these guys that like really don't fill out your roster and make you excited. So go get, Burns, Bueller, Sasaki, Snell, Montgomery, one of these guys that can, as like a true ace, complement our Senga and Peterson, rotation. That's my number two offseason. You just go get an ace, go get that horse.
All right, my number one, a lot of people are going to think that I'm going to go with the generic move, but I can't. To me, it is go get that ace. I think that's the biggest thing to me. And to me, there's only certain guys who are aces. There's really not that many out there. Corbin Burns jumps out to me that we could sign him. I'd love to bring him in. The Soto move attracts a lot of people, but I feel like we need to spread this money out. Give me Burns for 6 years, 200 million. If you can't get Burns, go out and make a big move for a guy like Luis Castillo. We got too many fucking players. Jet Williams, we got a log jam of players where we have so many shortstops. Like, guys, somebody has to go, right? Even trading a guy like Acuna, even getting rid of one of these guys to bring in a superstar stud like Castillo, I'll do it all day. That's my number one move. Get me an ace, a true ace that we could count on for 30 starts a year.
Yeah, no, I love that. I mean, I am going with the generic number one. It's Soto. I said Ace is my number two. Soto's my number one. I mean, to make a splash like that would be unreal. And I know people are like trying to get on him because of his defense, because of his base running, but I mean, I feel like those are people who just are at that point where like they don't want to get their hopes up and like hope that we get him, because I feel like if we get him, it just puts us over like not over the Dodgers, not over the Padres, but close to it. I feel like he carried the Yankees this year. Him and Judge, just like without those bats in the lineup, that lineup's so different. Like I just feel Soto in your lineup, you have to think and game plan so differently. The guy is just a monster. Not only that he can hit, he's so patient at the plate. I mean, the guy is just they compare him to Ted Williams. Like, come on now. He's a generational player that you're not going to find at this age, in a long-term contract like that at 26. Like, lock it up. Lock it up.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's tough for me to sit here and say like I don't want Soto because of course I do. I just feel like we have so many other moves we have to make, and don't get me wrong, bringing in Soto, the amount of pressure to take off a guy Lindor's back, what it would do for the lineup. This guy gives you a quality at bat 650 something times a year. So, bringing in Soto, I can't say that I would not love it. It's just to me, like I said, I think we need a lot more.
Yeah, no,
Let us know what we missed in our top five. I'm sure there's something where we fucked up and we
yeah,
didn't put in there.
yeah,
So get out and we'll be back. We'll be back with more, baby. It's just heating up right now. Well, how do I do this? How do I fucking just hit stop recording? All right. Thanks for listening.
yeah. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Mets. Let's go Knicks.